Hi everyone, Cameron Hamilton from Ballast, Director of Financial Planning. I'm here to say Happy New Year. I'm here with our first weekly update of 2022. This week I wrote about required minimum distributions. So what are required minimum distributions? It's just some percentage that has to come out of your pre-tax retirement accounts each year based on your age. And this week I really wrote about how we think about the strategy of distributing those funds, and I kind of broke it down into three ideas. The first is we want everyone who's taking required minimum distributions and who also makes charitable donations each year to just think about the idea of donating from the IRA. If you don't itemize deductions, it likely makes sense to donate straight from the IRA, and we're happy to have that discussion to determine if that puts you in a better tax position to do so. So then really, let's talk about two extremes on how we might think about taking these required minimum distributions. The first is I'm a person who doesn't really need my RMD to fund my monthly income each year. So maybe I have a pension, maybe I still have business income. For some reason, I'm not leaning on that for my monthly spending. For that person, our goal really is not about making your IRA last, but to minimize the tax burden of distributing it over time. So for that person, our goal is to distribute your required minimum distribution at a market low. Unfortunately, we never really know when the market low is going to be, but we know over time markets tend to go up, so it tends to make sense to take them early at the beginning. If the idea is, I'm just trying to pull funds out of this IRA, pay tax, and reinvest them in a taxable bucket. Long term, that will maximize the money we have outside of the IRA that maybe can get passed on to the next generation and get a step up in basis. On the opposite end of the spectrum, say I'm someone who is using my required minimum distribution and my IRA as my principal driver for my annual income. In that case, we want to maximize the longevity of our IRA, so we want to leave dollars invested as long as possible. Well, we're not going to be in 100% stock and be taking income, so in general, our goal is to find some happy medium where we can create predictable income and have some amount of safe assets and cash and fixed income to draw off of. So we're really thinking about working with you to determine the best staging out of those distributions throughout the year and across years. What you can do as an investor is please engage us and tell us about any change in your life when it comes to the amount of income you're earning, the amount of income you need off of your portfolio on an annual basis, when we're thinking about retiring, inheritances, charitable donations. Any of these variables can change where we are on this spectrum and how we decide to distribute funds from your IRA. So at the beginning of the year, it's a great time to rethink about what we've been doing. Is this the best for you? We'd love to hear from you because we know we can get it right as long as you're engaging us and we have all the data. So read the rest of my article on ballastplan.com, and we'd love to hear from you. Thanks.